And going to another story we are tracking here on NewsNight, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And joining me is another of my colleagues, Trent Murray, who is standing by in Tel Aviv. Trent, what more can you tell us about the latest situation at the Kerem Shalom border crossing point between Israel and Gaza?
Well, the Kerem Shalom border crossing before the war was really the main transit point for goods going in and out of Gaza. It has remained shut since October 7th, but overnight we saw it did reopen, and according to the Egyptian Red Crescent, 79 truckloads worth of aid was able to enter the territory. The reason this is open is because it was part of the original negotiation between Israel and Hamas during their ceasefire last month, that 200 trucks per day were going to enter Gaza with aid, but Israel wasn't able to fulfill that agreement because all of the aid was coming through the Rafah border crossing in Egypt, and officials say it was just never built to handle that amount of traffic. So look, early days yet, and you know, there is an unpredictability around this war, but certainly it is hoped that the opening of that second border crossing could play a crucial role in making sure much more aid is able to get into civilians who desperately need it, with food, water and medicine running short.
Also, Trent, reports suggest that both Israel and the Hamas are open to further talks, both on ceasefire as well as releasing more hostages. What are you picking up? What's the latest you can put together for our viewers on this count as well?
Well, what we are hearing is that the head of Mossad, which is the main intelligence agency in Israel, has already met with the Prime Minister of Qatar. Now, of course, it's worth remembering Qatar during the last ceasefire was absolutely instrumental in negotiating between the two sides. We are hearing this morning that the Israeli cabinet has given the green light for the Mossad to continue those conversations. Still early days, but what we do know is that there are still around 130 hostages being held captive by Hamas within the Gaza Strip. Their families here in Israel are desperate to try and get them home. Pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu to work to do that. So look, we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Certainly the Israelis are showing no sign of winding back their military operations in the immediate term, but there may just be some hope of a ceasefire in order to try and get those Israeli hostages home.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Trent, thank you. Trent Murray reporting there from Tel Aviv on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.